Conservatives in America are quick to point out that when you poll Americans, more say they're conservatives than liberals. That is true. Being completely honest, that has been true for basically as long as these polls have been going on. We have some criticisms of how that's measured. But in a few different areas, in terms of economic policy and social policy, the conservative approach to those things is losing popularity at almost historic rates. And the gap between liberals and conservatives is at all-time lows. Here is a chart we're going to show for you. Now, the numbers you're seeing here are the gap between how people rate liberal and conservative approaches to social issues on that bottom line and economic issues on top. And so as an example, in 2014, conservatives had an advantage of 4 percentage points over liberals. But if you go back just 4 years, they had a 17-point advantage there. So they're all-time lows on the social issues, and also as low as you can see going back to 2001 on the economic issues.
I can't make heads or tails out of that fucking chart. But
sorry, I tried to explain it as clear as I could. No, so basically, people say they prefer the conservative approach, but they prefer it a lot less than they did just a couple of years ago.
Right. Yeah. And what do you think? Why do you think that is, John? Do you think it's because the Republicans got power back?
It could be. I think that when you're talking about the economic issues, if you look at the years, actually briefly bring that back up so I can demonstrate my point. If you look at the years there when the sort of conservative approach to the economy is skyrocketing from 21-point advantage to 36, I mean, that's the economic collapse in the years after it. They become more conservative because they feel threatened economically. That's true in America, it's true around the globe, and it's true throughout history. And so that's probably what we're seeing there. But over the past few years, you see perhaps the influence of people's changing views on marijuana legalization, gay marriage, and things like that. People don't feel as uncomfortable saying that they're socially liberal. And that's why the number is just 4, the advantage is just 4 in the most recent polling.
You know, what are the social issues? Because it says that people still favor conservatives socially?
Yeah, that's extremely easy to explain, though.
No, it's bullshit like family values. I'm conservative. I have high moral standards. It's these, platitudes that mean nothing.
So they don't ask them specifics like abortion, gay marriage.
No. Yeah. So that's the thing. What you're seeing there is not whether these people actually are conservatives or liberals based on some definition we could come up with. Okay. It's what they say they are. Okay. And in terms of the war of words,
self-identify.
Exactly. Okay. And the reason that they say they're conservative is not hard to understand. It has a positive connotation historically, like you're traditional, you're pure, you're religious, you're traditionally American. But the advantage is going down, and I don't think that young people feel like being called liberal is an insult the way it was back in the 90s.
They were successfully demeaned the term liberal and made it seem it's synonymous with irresponsible, right? So you're a liberal, you don't care about, you're just going to spend money, and you're going to tax people, and you're going to screw up the economy because you want to help certain people because you're a bleeding heart and you're not grown up enough to actually make tough decisions. That's how they've been. And so I think people look at just like their reflexes, I'm conservative, I'm fiscal conservative because I don't want to waste money, whereas somehow the Democrats or the liberals have allowed the term liberal to be equated with wasting money.
Even though they have a better history.
Even though if you look at the economies, whenever there's a Democrat control of government, the economy always does better.
Yeah, I mean, so we've covered this issue before. The word conservative has been marketed much better than the word liberal. Yeah. So people prefer to be on the side of conservatives when it comes to the labels. When it comes to actual policies that belie those labels, they overwhelmingly prefer the liberal policies. They do across the board on tax policy, on social issues, everything. And if you really kind of take a step back and break this down to what it really means, being a conservative means to be a little bit more traditional, keeping things the way they are and not changing things. Being liberal, I think, means to try new things and be progressive,
open-minded.
So
trust science,
tinkering and doing new things. And for a long time, I think if you look at it from that vantage point, people are going to want to be conservative if they are fearful, if they don't have facts.
Or in times of economic problems, military conflict, things like that.
Change is always scary. But I think with the age of the internet and the millennials and all these, the massive exchange of information, I think people fear change a little bit less, because change is happening constantly, and it's at such a rapid pace, faster than it's ever before in human history. So, I mean, just think back to like 30 years ago, where we used to be and where we are now. I mean, everything's changing so much quickly here.
That was even before Friendster.
Yeah. So I think the concept of change and concept of progress and progressivism is becoming less scary to more people. Yeah.
Two quick points I want to make about this. Unfortunately, the actual, like, the choices you have in government don't map out, or they're not, it doesn't flow in the same direction as the changes you're seeing in how people view these things. They may say that they're more eager for a liberal option. That doesn't mean they have a liberal option when it comes to actually coming to electing a politician. And perhaps more importantly, we have to be fair, we have to be honest. We're not winning on all the issues. The death penalty still has majority support. We haven't legalized prostitution yet, but we are coming for that.